I'm Cognac, Wellerlane, and we are here at the Watermill Museum for their art show reception, and I am here with artist Greta Stapf Waterman, and we are looking at one of her pieces of art. Now, this is a fabulous show. Is this the first time you're showing your art here, or have you done this progressively?
I've been here before. I love this museum. I try to come and contribute each year.
Tell my audience a little bit more about this museum. Do you know anything about it?
Well, it's been around a long time. It was originally a water mill, and it is still can be an active water mill. I believe that they're doing a grist mill presentation later on this evening, and the museum itself is very interesting. On the top
I
floor,
saw that.
they have all the historical different artifacts of what was used in times before in the 1880s. And, you know, as water had been, I believe, energy and to grind for the flour, etc. And it was way before this new technology that we have today.
Yes, yes, absolutely. But I'd like you to get back to your painting. Could you explain to my audience what we're seeing here? This is very interesting, the colors and everything I'm looking at in this particular painting.
Well, the name of the painting is Anonymous Cafe Scene Series. I do work in series, and as you can see, it's like two women at a cafe kind of looking about, and the whole cafe scene, which is a bit of an anonymous, not giving a personal nature. The women itself I did is somewhat painterly, but and abstract. I have lots of color. I do work in series, as I said. I usually like having that wine glass, which either to drink or to paint.
What made you choose those colors?
There was one time when I did a whole blue series with different kinds of variations of the same blue, and I love blues and Mediterranean tones.
So do I. You could tell, right?
And earth tones, and so now, you know, I think that the splash of color and I'm trying to weave throughout the canvas, it works.
Well, it's beautiful. How long did it take you to paint this piece of work, this art?
Generally, that's a tricky question because with oils, I usually paint 4 paintings at once, and it takes me 4 months. However, I thought maybe if I had to do concentration all on one painting, that maybe I could get it done quicker, and it didn't work that way. So I would say I do work on several paintings at the same time, usually the same series or same theme. And
so you might start something and put it down and then pick it up again and start something else and then maybe finish another piece of art.
Well, oil takes a long time to dry. Yeah. So I'll work with one, and then when I feel that it's like set at that particular point, I'll go to the next one and then come back. Depending on what color I'm using, I'm constantly changing, mixing colors until I like the color that I want to use. Unfortunately, it's not often straight out of the bottle, even though that would have been much easier. But so I do paint, as I said, in series and subject matter, and then I just weave back and forth on the canvas and from painting to painting.
Now, is this the only painting, or there's a few of them?
One painting. Everyone at the show only has one painting.
Only one painting. Well, it is a beautiful piece of work, beautiful piece of art.
I mean, I am going to be doing a show in Chelsea.
Tell my audience about that. When is your next show?
October 9th is the opening, and it's Amsterdam Whitney Gallery, 511 West 25th Street. And that will be about 4 paintings, also a series, but that's more cubistic. I have different styles, and I'll again have my women because I love painting women. I think they're very figurative and have a wonderful, curvaceous tone to them, and so I'm excited about that. And then I have a show in October in the fall, and then I have a show in which is a dual show in Half Moon Bay, California in the spring, in April.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So I'll have Chelsea in the fall and California in the spring. And then we'll see. I have to get to work too. I'm busy. I'm very excited because I just did a children's book.
Oh, tell my audience about the children's book.
It's called A Little Duck Tale. I'm getting an advanced copy in the next week.
So you're an author as well.
I wrote and illustrated it. It was
Very nice.
yeah. So it's a cute little rhythm sing-song kind of book, and I have another one in the wings as well.
Where did all this love of the arts come from?
On and off since I was 9 years old. So
Fascinating.
just like my art, I
Just
try to
like your art.
interpret everything. It is based on reality. It starts out true, but it kind of goes off.
Now tell me, Greta, if we want to find out more information about you, do you have a website? Are you on Facebook?
Yes, I don't believe in Facebook.
But you do have a website.
Yeah, I have a www.artgreta.com.
Well, thank you so much, Greta. You are very lovely, and your work, your artwork is even lovelier. And thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me the time. I appreciate it.
And we'll be back in a moment with more interviews right here at the Watermill Museum in Watermill in the Hamptons. Big champagne kisses. Hello, darlings. Welcome back. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and we are here at the Watermill Museum, and I'm here with the publicist, Lombardo, and she didn't tell me, but she is also a fabulous artist, and she invited me to cover this event this evening. It is your art show reception for the
yes.
opening up the season. Explain to my audience all about this event this evening.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you so much, Cognac. Well, first of all, thanks for coming and being here. This event has become an annual event, and we merge two important things that happen every spring. Number one is the opening of the museum for the spring. We're not open in the winter, and that happens right around Memorial Day, a little earlier. And so we launch with all of our events, all of our historical exhibits, because our real focus is the local history of Watermill. That's our real focus. So we open with a party and an event. We welcome the public to come. We're going to do a wheel grinding demonstration. So we'll be grinding corn into corn meal.
Fascinating.
It's going to be great. You'll see it. There's giant grinding stones. It's really an amazing engineering thing to see. And that started in 1644 right here in this location. And the second exciting thing is we have this wonderful members show. This is the 22nd year that we've had it. And it's a woman named Lucille Beryl Paulson. She's a wonderful artist, and she's not here this year. She's off babysitting for her grandchild. But we're here with this opening of this members show. So people join the museum, and if they're an artist, they get to show their work in this show. And it stays up until June 16th. We have over 100 works of art, including sculpture, painting, encaustic, drawing, all different kinds of media. And we're just happy to welcome the public to come. It's almost like an art fair, if you can imagine.
Well, it's just lovely. And it's so rich in history. Tell me, how old is the Watermill Museum? How old is this building?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked that question, because we are really rich in history. I mean, that's one thing Watermill has in spades. So this building was actually built in 1644.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the settlers came in 1640, and the building was built in 1644 by Edward Howell, who put the mill up. And he didn't actually even live here. He's just a wealthy guy from England that came and did this enterprise. And this building itself still has beams and wood in it, probably from the 1700s, but probably not all the way back to 1644, because things have had to be replaced. Old beams tend to get infested with something called powder post beetle, and they get these, it sort of gets powdery, and so we have a constant and ongoing restoration program. Even today, we have a constant restoration program to keep the mill secure and in really good shape for now and into the future. So it's a really old building. It's been used for milling grain. It's been used for something called fulling cloth, which is the making of wool cloth. It's been used for making paper. It has a lot of uses that it's had. And when people come to the museum here, they can see a great exhibit on all the uses of the mill over the years.
So it's really a labor of love keeping this place going.
It is a labor of love. By the way, we're all volunteers. So, you know, you could say we're a small museum, But honestly, Cognac, I don't think we're such a small museum.
I don't think so either. I love this. I think this is
museum.
it's really a beautiful little museum. And
Thank you.
everything I'm looking at right here is just wonderful.
Thank you.
Including this painting. And I want you to tell my audience a little bit more about this wonderful painting that I'm looking at right here. How long did it take you to paint that?
Probably about 24 to 30 hours spread out over a few weeks. This painting's subject matter reminds me of when I was in the 70s, when I was living in New York. There was a little restaurant called Dino's on 26th and Lexington, and some people might actually remember it. And it was back in the day when you had sawdust on the floor and candles in the Chianti bottles, a little Italian restaurant. So when we did
Kind
this,
I love.
I love that, right?
I love Italian. I'm
Very cool.
Italian, and you
and
are
me
as
too,
well.
Yeah. So it's just really, when I began doing the painting, it reminded me of those days, and so I named it Dino's on 26th Street. And it's oil on canvas, and the style is called classical realism, and I'm studying it. I'm a student of it.
Well, it looks like I just want to have that glass of wine and break off that piece of bread.
Great.
It's
Well,
just
we can
making
go
me
have a glass of
hungry.
wine. Yeah,
Yes.
we have wine in the other room. Yeah.
It's making me hungry.
Making you hungry.
Fascinating. Is this the only piece of... Now, I understand from what Greta told me that everyone is allowed only one piece of art in the museum. Why is that?
So for this exhibit, which is the members show, we have over 100 people participating, so we just don't have room.
I see.
But later in the year, for example, starting June like 20th, there's another show. And there will be shows all during the summer that will be changing. Like every month there'll be a new show. And they will have one artist exhibiting an entire body of work. So that'll happen in July. And then in August, on August 15th, we open our 28th annual quilt show. So quilts from all over the East Coast and the Atlantic corridor.
Oh, my
will be here.
goodness.
Oh my gosh, there will be quilts everywhere. It's absolutely fantastic. And we've been doing this for 28 years. It's pretty amazing.
I'd like to come to that, perhaps. Maybe
Okay, great.
I'll come to that.
Okay.
Well, you are a wealth of information. This museum is just fantastic.
Thank you.
I want you to tell my audience where we could go to find out more information. First of all, tell my audience where you're located.
So we're located at 41 Old Mill Road, which is just off 27 when you're in Watermill. Watermill is between Bridgehampton and Southampton. You can find us at watermillmuseum.org, or you can go on Facebook and put in Watermill Museum.
And thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Pleasure.
And we'll be back in a moment, darling. Some more interviews right here at Cognac's Corner Magazine and the LongIslandExchange.com. Big champagne kisses.
One of a kind girl. This has been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.